I've got it. There we go. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Circle of Excellence Global Intelligence Update. I have some information that I want to share with you today, but first of all, I want to open it up to everybody. What is one thing that you need right now in your business in order to be successful? What do you think is that one thing that you need? Silence. Brad, you just walked into a screen of silence. Annalise, what do you think you need?
We need a better pipeline.
A bigger pipeline? Okay. What the rest of you? You all sorted, you're so successful, you don't need anything.
I was gonna say clients, but that seems so generic that everybody else is gonna say clients. So I don't want to say clients.
Okay, clients, all right. What does everybody else think that they need or know that they need in order to be successful? Or more successful?
You've got to have the ability to communicate and pick up the phone and speak to people.
Nice. Corey?
Yeah, I agree with Nadia, but I'm with Dobby. It's introductions to potential clients, I think, because of and Dobby's in a similar space to where I am. A direct introduction is better because it's a very personal sort of service.
Okay, interesting. Anybody else want to share what they think that they need to be even more successful than what they currently are?
Now, I want to share. What I need is courage, because it's got a context to it. I've run a business for a long time, but if you trying to put a new modality out there that's teaching mental health in a very different way, you need courage, because people are blank or go, oh no, So yeah, courage.
Hey, nice one. Welcome, Greg. Welcome, Brad. Sorry, we were in the middle of a conversation when the two of you jumped on. Anybody else? My question that I put out to everybody is, what do you need right now in order to be successful? So, Greg, Brad.
Can I comment?
Yes, Sam, go.
Yes, two things for me that I think we need to be successful is the vision and the hard work.
Nice, yeah. Interesting. Funding. Adrian says she needs funding. Nobody needs funding. It's money. You need clients. Okay, so let me share, and please stop me anytime with the slides. I really despise PowerPoint, but it's the easiest way when we're online to share knowledge. I'm going to share a PowerPoint with you, but please stop me anytime if you want to comment or if you want to say anything. So success, actually, and it's always interesting that we have what we need in our businesses, or what we think we need in our business. And most of the time, with all the business owners that I work with, they stop their success. So they're the biggest blocks in the whole process of becoming successful. And so when we talk about success in business, often people think strategies, marketing strategies, growth strategies, investment strategies, money strategies, funding, etc. But after working with all these entrepreneurs and business owners, I've realized that the most important is not necessarily strategies, but it all begins with you. So before a client buys your service, before someone invests in your time, before the market recognizes your value, it's always one person at the center, the business owner, the leader, the entrepreneur. And that's why the success of a business begins with you. I'm hoping you can hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about success, I want you to understand the simple truth: success starts with you. Not your circumstances, not your family, not your friends, not your city, not your connections. It starts with you. Every single decision you make, every single action you take, every single thought you entertain has the power to shape your future. Too many people are waiting for someone else to hand them success. They're waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect person to show up in their lives. But the truth is, the perfect moment is right now, and the perfect person is staring back at you in the mirror. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be real with you for a minute. Success does not start with your job. It does not start with your family. It does not start with your bank account. It does not start with your city. And it sure as start with someone else giving you a handout. Success starts with you. And I want you to hear that loud and clear, because too many people are walking around thinking their life is someone else's responsibility. They're waiting for the right opportunity, the right person, the right timing, the right luck. But let me tell you something. If you wait for luck, you'll be waiting your whole life. Your success is not somewhere outside of you. It's sitting inside of you right now, waiting for you to decide you are ready to own it. You see, too many people live their lives reacting instead of acting. They let circumstances dictate their destiny. They blame the system. They blame their parents. They blame their teachers. They blame the economy. They blame everybody but themselves. But the truth is, no matter where you come from, no matter what you have or don't have, success is always born in the choices you make. Every single day you make hundreds of choices, and each one of those choices is like a brick in the house of your life. If you choose laziness, you're building a weak foundation. If you choose excuses, you're building a house with holes. But if you choose discipline, commitment, and focus, you're building a house that can withstand storms, a house that will stand for generations. Let me tell you, success also starts with your...
So I'm not sure if that resonated with anybody, whether you suddenly start thinking about it a little bit differently, whether you start realizing that you are often your block for success. Hello, Rob. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Carrie. Life happens, and we all know that. So it's important for us to really start thinking about how are we looking at success and rethinking it as we move forward. So we have a simple formula. Everything starts with you along the way. It's a simple formula of understanding you before anything else. And this formula we're going to talk about today is the who, the what, and the when, and that gives you the results. Who are you? What are you offering? And when are you consistently showing up? When those align, business grows. When one is missing, it makes your success just harder. So in business, and if anybody hears me talk ever, business is a science. And there's always formulas. I left science in many years ago. So getting back formulas is always quite a headache. I'm going to give you another formula, and don't get overwhelmed. We're going to talk it through. So this formula of T, P, T, A, P, F, and F suddenly sounds incredible. But if you start breaking it down, you'll start seeing how easy and simple it is. So who is the person behind the business? And that's you. Let's look at, do you know what your talent is? Every successful business is an extension of the person behind it. So your mindset, your confidence, your belief. People do not only buy products, they buy certainty. So I want to know, how certain are you about your talent? And this is about your thinking, your movement, your learning, your behavior, because everything comes from the 86 billion neurons that we have within inside our brain, plus the 85 billion non-neural supporting cells. And we're thinking all the time, and we're making hundreds of thousands of decisions on a daily basis. But do you actually know who you are? So let me see. When was the last time that you took a moment to go inside you, to go and think about what your talents actually are? So do you reflect on what you're good at? Do you reflect on all the years of what you've done and all the different talents that you've created over those years? Have you ever listed them? Because that would be fascinating to see. And then, have you ever taken the time to go and ask other people? Have you ever taken the time to go and get external feedback of what other people believe your talents are? Because that's also an interesting journey to do. Because what you think and what other people think are quite different in a lot of instances. And then, are there talents that you would really like to have? Is there something that you would like to do different going forward? And can you experiment with some of them? Can you experiment with taking a little bit of a risk in some areas? Not where it's going to cost you money in your business, but where you can start building a new talent or enhancing a talent that you currently have. So take a moment to work out exactly what your talents are. That's the first area of you. The second one is, what do you love to do? What are you passionate about? And this is, we all know what, or we all think we know what we love, and we all think we know what we're passionate about until you get asked. And can I ask you to list 3 things that you absolutely love? And then what are the 3 things that you absolutely love to do? And it's non-negotiables within inside your business. Because are they the same? Are they different? Should they be the same? Should they be different? We don't really take those moments to go and work that out. And the next part of this small formula is the time. Do you spend enough time with your talents? Do you spend enough time with your passion? And do you spend 80% of your time making money from your talents and your passion? Because often what we do in business is we forget about ourselves along the journey. And so any of you that's part of Circle of Excellence would have been with Lundy discussing the blueprint. And there she always brings back your essence. And the essence part of that journey sometimes takes us months, if not years, to discover what are we really about. So I would encourage you right now to really start thinking about it, because outside people know more about you than what you do, because they buy with certainty when they come into your business. Research in behavioral psychology shows that people form impressions about the trust and about credibility within seconds of meeting you. And if you're not sure what you are doing, how can somebody else be sure of what you're doing, and how can they buy from you? So 70% of your customers, potential customers, are buying based on that understanding of what your clear value is. So before people evaluate your product and your service offerings, they're evaluating you. So do you believe in what you do? Are you clear about what you actually do? And can you show up with the authority behind what you do? So if you understand what your skill sets are and what your passion is and where you're spending your time, then this clarity then is easy. So it's really about your mindset along the journey, about you, in order to build that confidence, in order to trigger those belief enzymes and drivers within inside your brain. And because if you have uncertainty, the market feels it. But when you show up with clarity and convictions, people lean in, and the business then becomes easy. So how are we showing up with authority right now inside your business? Can I see it immediately if I go and look on your LinkedIn profile, for example? Can I see immediately what you do, what you're passionate about, and what your talents are? Because that dictates really what you're doing going forward. So that's one element of the formula, is the who, and that's you. So I want you to take a little bit of time, maybe in the next week or so, and spend an hour with yourself. I say that to clients often, that once a week you should be having at least an hour to yourself and not doing anything. No phones, no TV, no radio, no music, no nothing. Just staring out into nature. And people think I've absolutely lost it, but I learned it from some very clever people that are on the call, that you've got to go and spend some time with yourself. And it's amazing what comes to you. So the second part of the formula, first of all, any questions on the who? Are we all fine? We all know who we are. We all love ourselves. We love our passions. We love what we do. Hello, Monet. We love everything about ourselves. We've got it waxed. Yes? No?
Actually.
All right, well, some work maybe, hey, in the future. Right. So let's think about the second part of the formula. The second part of the formula is the what. So what is the value that you actually bring? Once the who is clear, once you are clear about yourself, the next question becomes what value do you bring to your market? One of the biggest struggles entrepreneurs face is not capabilities, but clarity. Clarity about what problem are they actually solving? Who are they solving it for? And I know 90% of Circle of Excellence clients get that wrong. And why are you different? In today's distracted world, attention is very short. In fact, studies are showing that our attention span is really down to 8 seconds. So I've lost you already. 20 years ago, our attention span was way more, but technology's come in, and with AI, even our attention span is going to get even less. It's going to be literally down to a second or two, which means if people cannot quickly understand what you do, what happens is they move on. So you've truly got to understand your problem solving, your focused areas, and the people that surround you. The most successful business owners can explain their value in one sentence, which is really exciting because we literally have seconds in order to do it. So whether I see you, an email from you, your LinkedIn profile, you literally giving me seconds to decide whether I believe that you know what you're doing, whether you bring authority and are truly focused. So be careful what you post, in other words. So we really need to look back at persistency, resilience, and timing behind the what. So are you releasing enough information for people to make those decisions? And if you are, what are you doing about it now? So the next part of the formula is about really your action. And whoever's in Cape Town, we're going to do a masterclass tomorrow on that one sentence because we get it wrong. That one sentence is probably the most important sentence and communication that we get wrong. I've just spent a two-day workshop last week with the Lekker Network, and everybody I met, which was about 270 people at the conference, their one sentence was terrible. Nobody really was able to put it into a sentence. What do they do and how do they do it? So for those of you that are attending tomorrow, here's a sneak peek at the formula that you can already start working on. And that is, who's your audience? Plus, what is their problem? Plus, what is your outcome? Plus, what is the psychographics? And isn't that easy? It's just one sentence made up of 4 words. Can you get your one sentence into 4 words? So this is about clarity. It's about building enough clarity within your business to uncomplicate what we make complicated. Because if you can build clarity, that creates confidence, and confidence attracts opportunity. And if we are making it simple and not using industry jargon, people understand. Because it's not the person you're talking to, but it's their network that you're trying to tap into. So what can you do from an action point of view in the next 24 hours with regards to your what? What can you do in 24 hours, in the next 7 days, potentially in the next month, the next quarter? And does all of this link back to your talent, your passion, and where you spend your time? Because that's where your action happens. So for those of you that need more clients, and for those of you that are looking to tap into other people's networks, what are you doing about it? Have you asked somebody to do an introduction? Be a question. Have you taken the time to step out and look to see who actually has the people that you want to talk to? Because then it makes your life easy. The next part of the formula is about people. And I'm not sure how many of you were around in 2020, I think, when Mike did an amazing update for us. It was during COVID, and he talked about how do you build a virtual boardroom. And I've taken what he did and I shared with all my clients because I just think it's phenomenal. I've tweaked it a little bit. So if you really want to hear his version, you have to go back and go into the archives and go and find it. But I want you to take a pen or your phone or whatever, and I want you to list. But there's rules behind this. The rules are, number one, you cannot use one person's name more than once. Okay? Number two is you've got to really, really dig deep and find the perfect person within your network. And also remember, there's also people on the call right now. And build your boardroom. I'm going to ask you 10 questions and you're going to build your virtual boardroom. And why? Why do you need this? Because people often talk about that they need people. So from VAs to staff to collaborators, etc. But what we actually need is people with more knowledge than what we have in certain areas within our business. Because we get stopped in our growth space because of other knowledge that we have. Our lid gets put on because we don't have enough knowledge or wisdom in certain areas. And if you have 10 people around your table, you can 10x your business 10 times using the knowledge that other people have to share. And you can do it for free. How exciting is that? So the first person that I want you to think about, do you have somebody that can be your personal MC? That means who loves to introduce you? Who loves what you do and is so willing to do an introduction to anybody within their network or their network's network or the people that you're really looking for? So who can introduce you to the right people? I'll give you a second to think about it. Who in your network really, really loves what you do? Just thumbs up when you've got the person. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. So then your second person around your boardroom is, who's your boardroom buddy? That means if you need to go and do a major presentation to different corporates, who would go with you, either from an industry knowledge perspective or from a tech perspective that you might need help from a tech side, or is just there to be your support system for the day? That brings enough authority that the people around the table will listen to. Thumbs up so I can see that you got that person. Yep, yep. I see some thumbs. Yep. See some steam coming out of some others. Right, let's move on. Otherwise, we're going to run out of time. Number 3 is, who's the conversationalist in your ecosystem that will invite you to high-level dinners? So you want to be surrounded by people with knowledge that are having conversations about the world, about global affairs, about the economy within your country, about trends that are happening inside your industry. So where you have high-level dinner parties and conversations are flowing freely, that you can start learning about different things around the world or around your industry or around your business. So who's that conversationalist? Okay, thumbs up. Yep, yep, yep. The fourth person that's seated at your boardroom is who's that deal maker. So it could be somebody that wants to do a JV with you, joint venture. With it will always be a win-win scenario. So if you are doing a deal with Claire, I'm going to get 50% commission. She's going to get 50% commission. We both are going to do, I'm going to do certain part of the deal. She's going to do a certain part of the deal. Who do you need that has opposite knowledge to you or opposite talents to you or skill sets, but that together you can put together a great deal? Yep, done. I see some nods. Right. Then number 5, who's your socialite? So who hangs out in all the right places, that introduces you, that brings you along, that invites you to all those new restaurant openings, new retreat spaces, the economy of the world, global trends, the launch of the brand new products of your industry. Who's that socialite? Who can invite you around? Number 6, who's your broker? So who promotes you, but also wants an introduction? So it's not only about you, unfortunately, it's about them and you, but not together. So if I introduce Dr. James, I would like him to turn around and do an introduction for me. So it could be somebody from MediClinic that I meet up with, and it's a great opportunity for James to share his alternative way of doing medicine, but I want to do the business side of things with him, as an example. So who's that broker that can sit around your table? Number 7 is who's that internationalist? So who can take you global? And often we don't think that we should be global, but in the way that the world is moving, we need to make sure that we have dollars and euros and pounds, etc., happening around the world, but also not only income coming in, knowledge coming in. Nadia and I were on a call with Lundy just a little while ago, and she was talking about how AI and the countries that they've been on their journey at the moment, how Africa, Asia, and America are embracing AI, whereas Europe, New Zealand, Australia are blocking it, which is a very interesting phenomenon at the moment, because AI is around, is going to be around for a while, I believe. But which are the countries that are moving forward with it and who's holding back? So if you're doing business in those countries, you need to know that from that point of view. So who can take you global or gain global knowledge? The 8th person around your table is who's your confidant. So who can help strategize with you in private, where you can share really important personal information, and you know that they're not going to take that knowledge and share with anybody else. Because we also know that as we climb and we get more and more successful, your friend circle starts shrinking. And we've got to keep that in mind too. How successful do you want to get? Because we need people around us that truly hold us, first of all, accountable, but also will listen to the daily struggles and help us move forward. So who can you strategize with? Number 9, who's your analyst? So who truly understands numbers? And this is a big dilemma in a lot of cases with business owners, leaders, entrepreneurs, speakers, is we don't know our numbers. So when we're putting together proposals, when you're thinking about pricing, do you really know what you're taking into account? Are you really making money from the different deals that you're doing? And if you don't have money in your bank account at the end of every month, then you need somebody. And it doesn't have to be a bookkeeper or an accountant, but it does need to be somebody that truly understands numbers, that can quickly turn around to you and say, you need to repackage, you need to rethink, you need to reprice. Because if we're not doing that and the money is not in your bank account, your business is starting to stagnate. So numbers become super important for us. And then who's the stiff upper lip? Who's that person that has all the degrees behind their name, that the moment they walk into the room, they can command authority? And there's very few people. If you go into a room, a network room again, really concentrate on who walks into the room. Very few people walk in with this level of confidence. So who has 10 people around their boardroom table? Look at you, Dr. James. Nice, Carrie. Who has some missing gaps? So isn't it fascinating? We sit around with so many people around us. I mean, on the call, we've got there's 14 people, but yet we can't fill a 10-seater boardroom table. So my suggestion is, of course, to reach out to one another, start understanding what each other does, and start filling your boardroom, because it's nice to have conversations. The trends that are coming out now is about becoming more and more personalized. And Nadia and I can see it just from the private members club. The moment we send a personal invite, people react. Of course, everybody wants a personal invite. The moment you start doing generic stuff, people dissipate. So start reaching out and start building that boardroom. I promise you, it's going to help you with 10x, 10x. Any questions so far? Are we good? It's a very quiet group of people today. All right, let's finish off then. So if we have this opportunity where we bring in together everything that we've done in the preparation and the foundation that we've built, it meets visibility. And then that's easy because it's pushing you to show up continuously, which leaves us to the third part of our equation, which is the consistency and timing. So when do you show up? So here's where success really separates people. It's not the idea, it's not the talent, but the consistency. Research into entrepreneurial success has shown that many successful founders only achieve significant success after multiple attempts and years of persistence. So you know that overnight success moment that takes 20 years? This is exactly what it is. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often very simple. They stayed in the game longer. They showed up again and again and again. And success really comes from a single moment. It comes from the consistent action over time. So we need to remember one of the areas of the final formula is about faith in yourself. So do you really believe in yourself and what you do? And that's why you've got to start right in the beginning with what are you good at? What is your talent? A moment when I meet entrepreneurs, they often say, I just need that one opportunity. No, you don't. That one opportunity really appears out of nowhere. Opportunities appear from making yourself visible. And the only way you make yourself visible is when you have faith in yourself. So can you go and take a moment after the call and list your achievements, your awards, the decisions that led you to this point, the moments that you truly believed in yourself, the successes that you achieved along the way? And then how often do you pat yourself on the back and say, well done? So I really want to encourage you to do this, because this really does change the way we think about ourselves and how we show up. Is when you really take the moment to go and list these things and go and see when did you believe in yourself and what happened? Because this will then create opportunities for yourself. And you will start showing up more and more, because then you'll start meeting the right people. You'll start refining your message and you'll start building relationships. And suddenly people are going to be starting to say, wow, how lucky are you? But it's actually, you just started to believe in yourself. And the last F of the formula is focus. So where's your direction right now? If you had to think about your business right now, where's the direction that you're taking it? Because the success formula is really easy. It's about the clarity, which is the who, the courage, which is your what, and consistency, which is your when. And that brings you success. As simple as what that is. So clarity about who you are and what you offer, courage to show up and put yourself out there, consistency to keep going long enough for opportunities to appear. And if one of these are missing, it makes it hard. It makes the progress slow. But when all three are working together, there's momentum, which is what we're looking for. So if there's one idea that I want you to take away today, success is not something outside of you. It's not waiting in the economy. It's not waiting in the market. It starts with a decision. It starts with a decision about who you choose to be in your business. Because long before your business becomes successful, a person decides to be successful or not. And that decision always begins in the same place. It begins with you. Because success in business and success in life begins with you. Isn't that simple?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you. So your success formula is really quite simple. You need to spend time today on you. You need to spend time today on what it is that you offer. And then you need to spend time on how you're getting it out there. Questions, comments. What are you going to do today?
Diane,
Yes.
no questions, just one comment. You are absolutely awesome and kind. Thank you.
Thank you. That's really sweet. Thank you. In the comment, I just see here Brad says, who wants to join his boardroom? Absolutely. I think that that's super important. I think you need to reach out to everybody. You should all be in each other's boardrooms because you all are so diverse in what you do. And reaching out to one another, having that quick conversation takes you 5 minutes. So I think you need to reach. Oh, Kari is going to be your confidant, Brad. Monet, what are you going to be for Brad?
I was going through my list thinking I think I need to just get to know Brad properly. But I'm in for socialites.
Well, there we go. Let's see. Annalise, what can you be for everybody in the room today? What's your position in the board?
I can be good with the numbers. I'm very good with numbers and pricing and that. So
there we go.
Open for that.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Dr. James, what are you there for everybody? What is your position on the board?
I think I can be a very good boardroom buddy, but also a conversationalist.
Oh, there we go. Dovey, let's hear. I'm going to do everybody, so you all better start thinking.
I think I'd actually be good at being a personal MC for people.
Oh, nice. There we go. Very cool.
Whoever needs an MC, bring me up.
Nice. Brad, what are you going to be for everybody?
Stand-up comedian, I think. Break the ice and keep everything mellow.
Mellow. Nice one. Carrie, what are you going to be?
Actually, I'm not sure. When we were going through that, I didn't write down the titles. I just wrote down the names of the people I chose, and I actually wasn't thinking about myself. So based on memory, I'm definitely someone who's in the background. So probably the numbers person or something like that. Yeah, definitely not any of the extroverted positions.
Okay, interesting. Monet, for everybody else?
I'm very similar to James. I think I can really be a good boardroom buddy. Love delivering with people, but also a good MC. I love lifting people up, introducing them, because sometimes people can't do that themselves. And when you do it for them, then they realize, how awesome they are. So
absolutely,
between those two.
Nice. Rob, what are you going to be for everybody?
Good question. I didn't write them all down, but MC's definitely one, and strategist is sort of a strength. So
Right.
there'll be a couple of thoughts. And
Yeah.
interesting, the good session. The thing that struck me is when you said about the 90 million or 86 million neurons, and that belief is something that is so powerful, which can do with a bit of a refresh. So thank you.
Nice. Awesome, Rob. Nice to see you on the call too. I haven't seen you for ages.
Yeah, thank you.
You've been
Had
just
to be
doing.
here for your session.
Oh, thank you.
See, I'm practicing my MC skills.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Well done. Claire, what are you going to be for everybody?
Me, Claire. Because
Yes,
sometimes me, Claire. I would be a really good personal MC. If I know people and I know what they're about and what they're doing, if there's anything that works, it spreads. I'm like that.
Everybody that said that they're going to be the MC, I just want you all to remember who's in the room right now and actually find out what everybody does. Because by the end of the week, I want at least one more client for everybody that's in the room, eh? Be careful when you say that you're going to be the MC because now suddenly you got work to do. Karen, what are you going to be?
I'll definitely be an MC. I love talking about other people's strengths and yeah, so definitely MC and confidant, because one of the most important things to me is being able to have somebody to trust that you can speak to, because I don't want to take anybody else's business. I'm quite happy with mine. So yeah, those would be my main ones, I think. I don't know if I would be a stiff upper lip. I have 3 degrees. Does that qualify me?
Yeah, no, I think so, hey? Just saying. So now you have to walk in that room with confidence, head held high, hey, and degrees on your arm. Nice. Nadia?
Sure. I don't know. Hey, I looked at the stiff upper lip or socialite. I like hanging around in the right places.
There we go. Yeah. Nice. Absolutely. Who have I left? I see Adrian has put in here boardroom buddy, deal maker, and internationalist. Yes. And Greg, I think you're the last one. If you're there.
No. Yeah, you had me.
Oh, did I have you already? Who did I not have?
Oh,
You missed me. You missed Brad. When you said Brad, somebody else spoke. So there has been other Brads on the on these before. So I just thought there were maybe 2 of us, but I'm not sure.
Go, Brad. What are you going to be?
First of all, Diane, I want to compliment you. A lot of what you said resonated. And it was very cool to hear, because I'm doing a lot of the stuff that you say. So I just want to say thank you very much for your presentation. It struck home. I could be quite a few things. I mean, everyone's saying MC, which I could definitely do. A confidant, I can be that so easily. I mean, I've had ever since I can far back as I can remember. I was people, just random strangers would just approach me and then just purge their problems, and I'd give them counsel, which got me to the coaching in the first place. So there's that. There's quite a few things. I mean, geez, I think a boardroom buddy, to introduce people, to liaise. I've been a musician for 30 years. I can socialite. So that's a little bit. Geez, there's a lot of boxes to be ticked there. I'm not sure which one would be. I could be a jack of all trades, and maybe I could sharpen my pencil to master some of them.
Nice. So, isn't it fascinating to listen to all the entrepreneurs? Yeah, because every single one of you go, I can be this, and 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 I can be this. And what did I just say? Focus. Like, what part of what I just spoke about did you not hear? I mean, I just want to remind you. Focus. Like, hello, choose one. So we've got a little bit of time left, and I want you to do the quick one-liner in the chat so everybody knows who you are and what you do. The formula is your audience identity plus your problem, tension, or desire, plus your truth and outcome, plus your psychographics. So that's 4 words that we're looking for. You can make it pretty, but don't make it too pretty. So very focused, okay? And I want you to pop it in the chat. And then that way those in Cape Town can get a head start, because tomorrow we're going to dissect it. But today, at least, what we can do is have a conversation around them so we can see how focused you actually are.
Could you repeat
Dan,
that?
can you repeat that?
Yes, I can. So the first of it is your audience identity. So who's your audience? Who are you targeting as your customer? The finite detail. So if you're targeting a CEO, that's who your customer is. If you're targeting retreat owners, that's who you target. That's who your audience is. Okay, so really think about who pays you the money is your audience. Plus your problem. So what problem are you solving for them? Okay, so those are your first two words. Then what is your outcome? So if I work with you, what am I as your client going to achieve? And the psychographics is what am I going to feel? All right, so 4 words. One is who's your audience. 2, what is the problem that you're solving? 3, what is your outcome? And 4, what is your psychographics?
Diane?
Yeah, boy.
May I please read mine to you, because I'm not going to be in Cape Town and I would love your feedback.
Sure, but I do need to write it down while you talk so that I process it as I write it. So give me 2 seconds. Let me grab.
Thank
While
you.
you're writing, can I
Yes.
ask what psychographics is?
How do I feel? What's my emotion if I'm going to work with you?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Annalise, go.
I coach people to thrive through challenge and growth.
Okay, people is a problem.
No, leaders and their teams. Sorry, I coach leaders and their teams to thrive through challenge and growth.
Comments from everybody.
Hmm?
I want comments from everybody. You
Thanks,
coach.
that would be very kind.
You coach leaders and their teams to thrive through challenge and
growth.
Okay. I'm not getting any emotion. So how do I feel if I'm going to work with you? If you're going to coach me, how am I going to feel? And be careful of the word coach. It's just my experience. The word coach, unfortunately, because of COVID, what happened is everybody that was 50 and above decided to become a coach, and they were able to do like a 24-hour thing and became a coach. So in my field, I feel that that word has been bastardized just a little bit. Look for something that's more attacking to the problem.
Equip. Okay, doesn't matter. I get the point. Yeah, and I don't know about the emotion. I thought thrive would do it, but it's maybe not enough. But I'm taking the points and I'll think about it. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else with a comment for Annalise? Okay. I would have a look at just see whether thrive is an emotion enough.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll sit with that.
Nice. Dovey is a help open-minded individuals find peace in the eye of the storm. Sorry, somebody was going to comment.
Oh yeah, Diane, Greg. What was the third one? Your third point?
Of the formula.
Yeah.
Who's your audience? What's their problem? What's your outcome? And then what's their feelings?
Yeah. Thank you.
Before we carry on, it's just also, I'm a bit unfamiliar with this. Won't you just explain outcome and psychographic again?
Outcome is if I work with you, what do I gain? So am I going to be the best speaker if you're a speaker coach, am I going to be the best speaker? And psychographic is how do I feel?
What the client gains, are you saying? Not what I gain, the therapist, but what the client gains.
Yeah, it's never about you, unfortunately. It's your business, but it's never about you.
Yeah, I know. And psychographic?
Psychographic is what do I feel?
Who feels?
The client.
Client feels okay.
Yeah. Okay, so really nice in the chats. Dovey, I help open-minded individuals find peace in the eye of the storm. Nadia, I help financial directors simplify decision-making to gain clarity and control of the business, of their business to sleep at night. Karen, the families of family businesses and facilitation of difficult conversations and harmony and legacy and peace and empowerment. Be careful, too many words. I help high-performing leaders eliminate burnout, sharpen focus, and sustain peak performance using neuroscience-backed systems for clarity, energy, and execution. Brad, help mindful achievers break stagnant cycles and build beyond success to prosperity, freedom, and fulfillment. Greg, SME business owners, poor leader conversations, sales made easy, clients feel successful. Rob helps sports people remove self-doubt to consistently be at their best and feel unstoppable. Who had the best one in the chat?
I don't know.
Who had the clearest one in the chat?
I think there are a lot of good ones.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rob because I like it's succinct and it says a lot.
Look at you, Rob. Oh, second Rob. Oh, everybody loves Rob today. Nice one. So please, please, please be really careful with how many words you use. I know we want to get across everything that we do. You can't in one sentence. The idea behind that one sentence is really to have somebody turn around to you and say, wow, that's impressive, or that's amazing. How do you do it? Okay, it's not for you to give them your resume. Please, 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 because I really want you to get this one-liner right. It's the one-liner that can help so many people on your LinkedIn understand what you do. So many people, when you meet them, and we're all meeting people all the time, is how can you help them? That's what you're wanting to do. And you want to tap into their networks. You don't necessarily want them as your client. Okay, so I really want you to work on this. And my suggestion is to take this one-liner that you've written in the chat and go and practice it. So every person that you meet in the next week or two, say your one-liner to them. And if you're not getting, wow, that's amazing, or how do you do it, or can I introduce you to somebody, which is ultimately what you want, you haven't resonated. So whether we like your sentence or not, it doesn't matter. It's whether you're resonating with the person that you want as your client. Okay. So I really want to encourage you to take this the next little while and to perfect that one-liner. And you want to be able to roll it off your tongue easily. So it's got to be words that you use. So your words will be very different to my words that I use. Okay. So remember that as we move forward. Any questions that you have for me or have from anybody else?
No, that was good.
No, great session. Thank you.
Very nice session. Thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you. And please remember that everybody in the room has great expertise. So I would really advise you when you jump on these calls and we do have time together is to ask one another questions. You know, build your relationships with one another because they can only do you good. Okay, keep that in mind, please. So as we move forward, take the moment to think about what can you do in the next 24 hours? What can you do in the next week? What can you do in the next month, the next quarter to build your business to the level of success that you want? And most of us think success is money in the bank. If you don't have money in the bank, let's get you money in the bank. You know, let's build that confidence. We want everybody to that level of confidence because you all are experts. Let's move you in that direction. So spend some time thinking about what we spoke about today. It's really about the who, that which is you, What do you, can people see what you're really good at? And most of the time is can't. Can people really identify what it is that you can do to help them? And can they see you consistently? Are you showing up consistently into your ecosystem, wherever your ecosystem might be? And that's a wrap, folks. Have a fabulous week. I think I'm back next week, so be prepared for next week. We're going to push you out your comfort zones even a little bit more.
Good.
Thank you, Diane.
Be fabulous.
Everybody.
Go well.
Go well.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Diane.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you.